Hi there traders, welcome to Elite Currency. This video is about the DAX and the S&P 500. Let's take a look at these charts from a technical analysis point of view. Let's start with the S&P 500. This is the monthly chart. And of course, this particular instrument stock index has been going up very strongly since the Great Recession. And that is, well, very much 10 years ago, isn't it? 2018 and 2008 it started. So yes, or 2007 actually already. But the market made a big downside in 2008, in fact, and it started to rebound in 2009. And that rebound is still lasting. It's still pushing up. We had some substantial corrections in 2011 and 2015 here, but that's about it. Just going sideways more or less. And otherwise, it's just been pushing up and up and up. Now, it does look like 5 waves have been completed to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or at least one could see 5-wave structure in this upside. Now, whether wave 5 is finished, right, that's the main question. And would that just lead to a shallow wave 4, or is there maybe an extension possible after a correction for one more upside? It's all possible, of course. Within the wave patterns, it is definitely something that could occur, extensions further within the trend. Here you can see that we had a sideways move and price broke above that bull flag and up it went. That could happen again. But for the moment, that set aside, I think that there is a good chance that this could be completing a wave 5, just considering the fact that price is already at plus 1.8, the Murray Math levels. And if we put some fibs on this wave 3, for instance, you can see it hit the minus 61.8 target. Now, all of these things are not necessarily game changers. It's not like this is it, that's over, and price could not extend further. I'm not saying that. It could go to the next Murray Math level, and it could go to the minus 100 target. I'm just saying that things are starting to add up, right? We do have some major resistance levels. We do see 5 waves finished. Plus, more recently, we saw a pretty hefty volatility to the downside on the weekly chart, all right? So, for the moment, I think this is an area where probably need to be a little bit cautious. Price is building kind of a triangle on the daily chart, and we'll have to see how, where price breaks to, which direction. And it could very well be to the upside. I don't want to be too skeptical because the trend has been very strong, aided by the quantitative easing in the US. That has really, a lot of that has gone into the stock market. It has really pushed it to new levels, and it could do that. But on the other hand, if we look at the US economy maybe slightly improving and perhaps interest rates continuing with their upside, then eventually that increase in interest rate could impact the stock market, and that could send it down again. So it's at an interesting spot. From a technical point of view, though, I think that there's a good chance that there's going to be a triangle here. I think that this hook back might find a resistance spot for price to retest this bottom. Then there might be a bounce. So there's a good chance that price could stay within this zone. And then the question is, will it break to the upside or will it break to the downside after kind of extends this triangle? Now, if it breaks right away, right, if it breaks immediately above this fractal, all right, yes, there could be a continuation. Then all of this was just a correction and up it goes. I think that price will stay for the moment between these levels for the next couple of days until we make maybe the next video next week. But yes, if I'm wrong and it breaks below this or breaks above that, these fractals, then it's a different story, right? But for the moment, a triangle, that's what I'm expecting. DAX is not much different or similar really to S&P 500, right? It seems to have made a very strong upside here, and the 2008 recession made a smaller dip. With the S&P 500, it actually broke this low. With DAX, it didn't. So with that said, one could see this as a wave 1, 2, this is a wave 3, right? That's possible. And within wave 3, we see that there's a potential wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finish. So could this be wave 4? It's possible, right? Considering the fact that DAX has even probably stronger bearish price action than the S&P 500. So what will be targets of a wave 4? Well, basically 23.6, 38, and the 50 fib is where price could bounce and continue with this uptrend. All right, so for the moment, there's a good chance that price might make a consolidation and then head towards these fib levels. Whether price will bounce at these fib levels, all right, that really depends on how price action looks like, what kind of candlestick patterns we see, etc. All right, there's always the chance, of course, that price might find more bearish momentum than expected and continue to go lower. Alternatively, if it doesn't make this bigger bearish correction, then just like the S&P 500, there is a chance that price might stay within this zone and build a consolidation. All right. So what could happen too, as you can see already, the price is bouncing. This is something that I said in a different webinar already with I think ECS Live, that this could be basically kind of a bounce spot because of resistance, but this could be a bounce spot because of support, that price could make kind of a consolidation like that. It does seem to be happening right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if price stays within maybe this kind of zone right here, all right, like this. Then it will depend on the breakout direction, just like the S&P 500, which side the breakout chooses. I am slightly more bearish on DAX at the moment than S&P 500. So, but let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if the DAX indeed goes sideways and then breaks towards those fibs that I mentioned. But of course, if the global indices, S&P 500 starts pushing up, then I think that DAX will follow a little bit and will maybe make a higher high as well. It will just probably be with less momentum than with S&P 500, but that's my view. And ultimately, it will then complete the wave 5, and I think we'll make a correction then later on. All right, so I think correction is more likely on DAX, but we'll have to see exactly when and where. It all depends on these supportive resistance lines for the moment. I will be updating S&P 500 and DAX in the future, so you'll see a development in my analysis as we go along. I think that these are not the best spots, but difficult. But that could change a week, 2 weeks from now. Let's see. More updates, of course, coming. More free analysis at elitecurrency.com. And of course, you can try out our ECS.start package as well. Wish you good trading in the meantime. Cheers.